creations, welcome back to my craft room. We are going to be making I don't know if there's a name for this. Let me just look at my thing and see if it says. It just says fall arrangement. So I got this metal cone wreath form from the Dollar Tree. Looks like this. This is the tag. Hope you can see it. And I saw at Hobby Lobby, here, let me stand up and give you the SKU so you can order this. And it was from Floral Garden. And it's just a big tall cone. And I saw this at Hobby Lobby for $79.99. I'm not kidding you. $79.99 for this fall arrangement. Here's another picture. Let me show you one more picture so you can see the whole entire thing. So I knew that we could recreate that for a fraction of the cost of that one. So unbelievable, right? I knew we could do this with all Dollar Tree products. That's what I have here today, all Dollar Tree products. So we are going to make our version of Hobby Lobby's $80 fall arrangement. Our Hobby Lobby dupe. So grab yourself some sweet tea or some coffee. We are going to be using a whole bunch of miscellaneous doodads that I've got in my bin here from Dollar Tree. We're going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pumpkins, all Dollar Tree, even one ceramic one we're going to be using. But we're also going to be using another string of these LED lights with the little leaf on them. They're like a fairy light, but they have their own little leaves. So I thought we would incorporate that as well, but I did not get to putting in the batteries. So let's do that together real quick, because I don't think that this is going to be a very long project today. So happy Wednesday to you. I never put this little screw back in. I don't ever feel the need to keep, I don't have little children stealing my batteries. So I just keep that little screw out. But yeah, happy Wednesday. If I can get this apart. This is why I like to do things like this off camera. Let's see. We need something to pry this apart a little bit. There we go. See, that's why I feel like I don't need a screw holding that in. I had a hard enough time getting it apart without the screw. So I couldn't believe it when I saw the price of that. I have the wrong batteries. So we'll put these batteries in. I need AA and I've got a AAA. I do have the correct size behind me though. So we'll get into this project and then I will put it on pause and we will get the lights for that, because that's going to go at the end anyway. Alright, so the first thing that I am going to do is take all the stems and all the little price taggy things off of my pumpkins. And I'm going to save these stems because this is a cool stem. I mean, it needs a zhuzhing up, of course. It's a little plasticky, but that's still a great stem for another project. So I'm just going to save all the little stems, and they all pop off super easy. Super easy. And I found all of these pumpkins at the Dollar Tree, each and every one. They have boxes of pumpkins, and if you stand there long enough and go through the pumpkins, and you really have to stand there, and like I didn't de-stem this in the store, I flipped it over and I pretended that this side didn't have a stem, and I just sat there and stacked my pumpkins until I found the assortment that I liked. I did have to go looking for a different one, and this one happened to be ceramic, and then I'm going to be finishing this off with the little tiny pumpkins that come on a wire. And I'm just going to cut that right off the wire. We don't need the wire on there. So, alright, and then I'm going to leave, I might have to just cut this. This stem doesn't come off, so I think I'm just going to cut that stem right off at the butt. As close to the pumpkin as I can get. Actually, it did come off, so it wasn't, I thought it was attached because they had spray painted it all the same. It looked like it was all one piece. And then we're gonna leave our stem on our itsy bitsy one. And now comes the fun part. So the first thing we're gonna do, oh, I gotta take my tag off of our cone. And my trash is, I forgot to take my trash. It's gonna be behind me on the wrong side. I usually like it over here. So the first thing we have to do actually is work from the bottom up. So let's see if we might need, I got this little bucket handy because this will help hold it. But for you to see, I'm going to start with my baby pumpkin in here, and I'm just going to turn it upside down until he fits just right. And I'm going to push him down a little bit. I want him to be in there so he doesn't fall out. You don't have to smush it up in there, just you want it taut. So there, and nice and straight. Oh, see, I didn't push it hard enough in there. Let me push it down a little bit more this time. There. So there is our little baby pumpkin. Now we're going to take the next size pumpkin and we're going to put a little bit of glue on the pumpkin this time because we want this to actually, oh wait, I'm so sorry. I think I want to stick a little bit of moss. Spanish moss. Let me grab it. I like just a little bit of Spanish moss in between. So just a tiny bit. I'm going to just take a pinch of it. And I'm going to put glue on my pumpkin. And wherever I think it will be touching the next pumpkin, and I'm going to just stick a little bit of my glue, my moss on there, and before it gets dry, I'm going to stick this up into the next pumpkin, just like that. Can you see? It's a little bit of moss because we have a little bit of pumpkins up there. Now I'm going to take my next pumpkin, and it does have glitter. I've picked off a lot of the glitter on here. It's got some big dots of glitter. I'm really not going to pay too much attention to all of it. I really just wanted the size of it and a little bit of the bling. I don't know if you can see these. They're almost the size of a sequin. And most of them are coming right off. So if there is one or two, it's not going to bother me. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our glue. And we are going to take another piece or another pinch of some Spanish moss. I'm going to just put a little bit more glue on top of my moss. And then I'm going to stick this next pumpkin down into my little cone. Oh my goodness, I have glue dripping out the other side, so let's put a little bit of moss to hide that. We can come back later and trim that off. We're just stacking our little bit of pumpkins, and if you have a little gap in between, you can stick some moss in there like that. Now we are going to take our next pumpkin, which I think I might have to trim. Let me see. You know what? There is a big space between this pumpkin, so we're going to fill it with moss. Okay, they're not all going to fit perfectly like Hobby Lobby because it's not factory made. It's a handmade craft, right? So I am going to make like a circle of almost like a little bird's nest of moss. There's a big stick in this one. And we are just going to stick that. I'm making a little nest of itself so it sticks into each other. Okay. So now I'm going to actually put my glue right down here on this pumpkin, peeking through the cone to use a shortcut here. Alright, using these openings to my advantage. And now I am just going to put my little bird's nest down. Just make sure we have a little pressure there. This is going to be so cute. I just thought that was beautiful, but I can't afford to pay $80 for something that I can make myself for, I don't know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6 in this project, maybe 7 if we count the moss, but we're going to use a lot of this moss in another craft, so it's kind of hard to you know, say that that's how much, but you know, less than 10, and we're gonna have a beautiful piece just like theirs. Now we're going to glue our next size in. So, want a heap ton of glue. Picked up some mess. So I'm going to go in over here and just put a heap ton of glue on my inside of my moss because we don't want our moss, our glue to fall out of our moss like the last time, if that makes any sense. There we have that. We're going to hold that a few minutes. And then we're going to put our ceramic one down. So I'm just going to hold this for a minute. I think I want to do mine upside down. Instead of, this is a tea light holder. And I want to put it, instead of putting that down, see, this would be the top. Instead of putting it this way where the tea light is, I'm going to put it this way so I can glue to that. But I want to take the sticker off, which I should have done already. My goodness gracious. Slowing down the works. I'm trying to look for, let's get these tweezers. And I don't have to get every little tiny bit of paper off, but I do want to make sure that when I glue this, it will be gluing the actual, the actual ceramic and not the paper. Alright, so it has a hole because it is ceramic, but that's okay. So I'm going to just see where this is going to touch here. And I think that I am just going to eyeball it and try to get my glue as far out as it will go without dripping down my pumpkin. It's a little bit harder to get my glue gun into this space because, oh, I got my finger in it because it is, oh my goodness, I forgot to put moss, so we're going to take some little moss. I got my finger and it burnt me. Oh, I have such sore fingers. Don't mind me, I have no nail polish on today. Taking a little break from some nail polish. Okay. I think we will tuck our little bits of moss in this after we are finished. So now our next pumpkin is this big beautiful pumpkin. So I don't know if I want to go this way with it or this way with it. I think I'm going to go this way with it. Alright, so now I'm just going to put my glue right down on the ceramic bottom. Need a new glue stick in there. And I'm going to glue. Again, I forgot the moss, but that's okay because we're just going to tuck it all in at the end. It's better to tuck it all in at the end anyway because then we'll see where we need it. Now, the next pumpkin, I might have to shave off the bottom. Let's see if it's going to fit all the way down. Flip this over. Oh yeah, it is. It's going to fit perfectly. Okay, so now get some of these cobwebbies off. And we will glue our last pumpkin down. But I first need to put a glue stick in the glue pen. Okay. Let's do this again now. A heat ton. It's bulky and I'm trying to keep it so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I hope you can see okay. Let me know if you guys are seeing these cool wreath forms. I thought it was in the Christmas section, so I thought it was to do a Christmas tree. Alright, now I'm going to tip this upside down right while that glues. I'm just going to put a little pressure on that. I thought this was to make a Christmas tree, which I'm sure you could also do. But then I saw the Hobby Lobby one and thought, oh no, we can do that. We can make our own. And we are. We are. Alright, so now I am just going to take little bits, and I mean little bits, of some Spanish moss, and I'm just going to tuck them in here or there just to cover up some of the glue spots. And I'm going to use my tweezers because I don't want to burn my fingers, and I just want to stick those in. in my little spots, in my little nooks and crannies, just to hide the glue from the previous glue down. And that's all we're going to do, is just keep hiding, not all the way around each one, just in spots. And a little bit more on that one. And again, I'm just going to take my tweezers and stick that in. And around the next little spots. Just hiding your little imperfections from gluing. I'm going to stick that right through the bar. There you are. And it's okay if they have little danglies and, you know, they're messy. That's the whole look of the Spanish moss. It's growing and it's out of control. All right, we need a little bit right here. So I keep my Spanish moss in a an old diaper wipe container, and it makes the keeps the mess to a minimum, I should say. You know, it's always a mess to work with. We're not going to get away with that, not having a mess, but it does help. So if you know somebody with babies, or you have somebody with babies, or grandchildren, babies, you might want to keep, uh-oh, something just happened to my glue gun, it broke. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We'll have to check it out. Let's check it out. I'm just going to tuck some of this moss in behind. Up and around and in behind. So you can see I'm just filling in the spots. Let's check this out. What did I just do to this? Am I forcing it and it wasn't ready? Something to do with my trigger. Alright, let's turn on the Ryobi real quick. Might have to put this video on pause. Heat up another one. Usually always have that backup, don't I usually? But I don't know. My head is still in the clouds, I think, from over the weekend. I left my house at 2 in the morning to get to the airport. And I don't know if we can get a little more glue out of this. I left my house at 2 o'clock in the morning so that I could get to the airport by 3 o'clock in the morning, because my plane left at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then we had my plane, we had a leak on our plane, on our right wing. So after sitting for an hour at the gate, they deplaned us. And then we weren't sure if we were even going to get out, which really caused anxiety for me, because I was on my way to a funeral. It wasn't like I had, you know, leisure. It wasn't a vacation. I didn't have, I was very nervous about it, and it caused a lot of anxiety, and that wore me out alone. Okay, this glue gun, I think, has had it, so I might have to put you on pause. So that stress right there wore me out. Just, you know, the lady that sat next to me on the plane, when they took us off the plane, she said, you know, the last time this happened to me, I had to sleep at the airport. So, yeah, I was a little upset. You know, I wasn't showing it to anybody, but I was totally freaking out and wondering if I was going to get to my aunt's funeral. So, and what you guys don't know is it's been a very, very sad couple of months for me, because When I was up in New England this summer for my vacation, right before I left, my best friend, my best Florida friend, found out that she had cancer. And she had, I believe it went so fast. I believe she had ovarian cancer, and it mets to her stomach. So by the time we found this out and I left for New Hampshire, we knew that she was having chemo. Okay, so we're not heating up here. I need a glue gun. I don't know what happened to this. But anyway, she wasn't getting worse, but we didn't, so she had done 2 rounds of chemotherapy before I left for vacation, and I was seeing her, once a week, and I left her laughing, and we were joking, and, I always brought her a little something just to cheer her up, and, that day I had left a mug with her that said, "You've got this," and so, and then I went on vacation, and she had her 3rd chemo while I was on vacation, and then she found out that it was not getting any better. In fact, it had mets to her spine. So I was talking to her via text, and all of a sudden I was not getting any response. And so I called, and her sister said they had put her on hospice, and that it had spread to her spine, and that she said she was done and ready. And so before I even got home, I had a 5-week vacation, and before I even made it home, my friend had passed away. So, you guys didn't know all of that, but it's been a very sad time for me, because not only did my friend pass away in 5 weeks, I mean, we found out she had cancer. I went away totally expecting to come home, and she was going to start getting better, and we would resume going out to lunch and doing all the things that me and Kathy did, and it wasn't to be. Instead, I came home and was faced with all of the places that we used to go shopping together, and all the places that we used to do lunch together, and I thought, well, I might miss her funeral services, being that I'm away when she passed away. But then when I got home and I hadn't heard that I had missed or seen that they had any services, I thought, well, good, maybe I didn't miss them and they just haven't had them yet. And I talked to her daughter-in-law, and she said no, that the husband was not having any services. So yeah, it was a little trying to think of a really good word, but it's just been I'm rolling some of this Spanish moss in my hands like a hot dog with clay, because I just want to wrap a little tiny bit of it around the stem up here, but I don't want to take away from the stem that's on there. I want you to be able to see it. So anyway, and then I was just kind of recovering. I mean, not if you recover, I don't know what you call it, but it's just been a very sad month. That's all I have to say about that. It's just been a very, very, and so I feel like I left my friend laughing, which I'm grateful for, and smiling, and I love that I made her happy, and I know that she knows I loved her and all those wonderful things, but I don't have any closure. I didn't get to say goodbye. I just thought I was coming back and she would get better and we would be doing things soon. And I guess, was in denial. She didn't look horrible, and thought she was doing better. She had had a lot of fluid removed from her belly that was full of fluid, and so yeah, she started feeling better, and I just was very, very hopeful and I guess in denial. All right, now this is our Hobby Lobby dupe. All right, but we're not done yet. We have to decorate it. So they had what looked like a thing of, you know how at the Dollar Tree you can get a leaf garland, but I didn't want to put that on here because I felt like it was really, really plasticky. So I am going to put on Dollar Tree pip berries. I'm going to just wrap those around. And then I'm going to just glue some of my leaves right onto this so that it doesn't look plastic. So let's get some of our things out of our way here. And let's see, we've got berries and pine cones. I've got these berries too that we opened the other day. I'd like to incorporate a few of those. Okay. That ought to be good, I guess. Maybe put a pine cone or two. So now we are just going to start at the bottom and unwind. Oh, you know what? Let me put you on pause too so I can get some batteries and our lights, and we'll put these together. That way we will just wrap the one time. But let me untwist this before I lose the end of it. And let's hope that it's not 50 pieces strung together. Not that it matters. We work with that too. For $1.25, I will have no problem working with a couple pieces that are put together. All right, let me put you on a quick hold. You won't even know that that I'm gone, and I will be right as quick as a biffy. All right, now we got the right size, AA. These called for AA, and I had AAA. So let's put our lights in real quick. Love when they come out in the spring with these little lights. I picked up quite a few. Oops. Where is our tool? There we go. All right, light those up. All right, so now we have our batteries in. Show you. See? And we'll stretch that out a little bit. So we might not be able to do this. Let's see. Let's untangle that. We might, so we want our box to be up and back here somewhere, right? So we're going to just pretend that's our box. I am going to have to cut a little bit off of the bottom here, unless I can really mush that down, because it is giving me a little rocky bottom. Push down on that. All right, what I'm trying to say is we might not have enough green lights to go all the way around and around and around. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing it, before I put the berries on, I'm just going to pretend like this is going on to see if, let's just do it. I think we're going to be fine. So let's put our berries together. Cut that little sharp end off there. our berry and our light end together. We'll just wrap that. Nobody will. And then let's stick this through a spot on the top of our piece. Just like so, and then we're just going to wrap it. Let's go this way and wrap it down and around. And then when we get to a certain spot, we can glue it. So we'll give it a little glue. I'm kind of twisting these together. So once I get to a spot where I can stick a little glue, we will put a little bit down. Holding, holding. And you don't want this tight, tight, tight. You want it kind of blousy, if that's the right word. You know what I mean? Not so that it's so tight. I'm twisting this, don't forget, together. So now I'm just going, see how I have it in my fingers and I'm twisting? So now we're going to go down and around. And we will glue right together here. Barely getting any glue from my glue gun. I think I broke my trigger. I love that glue gun, and I'll tell you why. It's an Aleene's glue gun, but I have arthritic hands. And instead of having to use this finger as a trigger, I get this whole thing in the palm of my hand. And so I will definitely miss that. I have a beautiful Ryobi glue gun that my precious daughter, she's so good to me, bought me. And I do love it. I will say a couple things about it though. I absolutely love it. I feel so professional with it. But all joking aside, there's two things. One, oh, this is so pretty. One is it's extremely hot. So when you burn yourself with Ryobi glue, you burn yourself. Let me get this again here. When you burn yourself with the Ryobi glue gun, it's hurting. And the other thing I will say is a lot of times I craft all day down here, and a lot of times, let me just twist as I go, my Ryobi glue gun won't last the whole day. So I have to have my plug-in one on anyway, as a backup. Alright, so we're almost finished here. Just going to glue this. So I tend to use, although I love my Ryobi, I do. I wouldn't want to be without it. I love it. A lot of times when I take my crafts to the doctor's office, I will bring that because it's cordless. And in case something falls off in transit or whatever, I like to, excuse me, I like to have that so that I can fix it. Alright, so I have a little bit more pipberry than wire. So I am just going to glue my little pipberry down the end here, which is fine. And then we are going to just hide our little switch in the back. So what we're going to do is turn this around until we find our front. What do we like the best? I say this is the front, right here. Didn't glue my berry down very much here. Let's try that again. I'm telling you, if you let go too soon, kind of put that on the wire there. How's that? Alright, so now I say, what did I say? I say this is the front. So I am going to, I don't like that this is rocking. I'm going to have to cut a little bit of the bottom off, but I will do that after. Okay, so this is what we have. Now I'm going to start sticking some berries in and out of, I'm going to just glue this right to the back here of my, right to the back of my, whatever we're calling this cone thingy. I'm just going to glue that right here on the back. I guess I need the Ryobi. Just fasten that on there, so we're not going to lose that. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to take these little berries that I bought at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to stick these little berries in and out of little places here. All the way around. I'm just going to stick a little glue on the end of the wire. And I'm going to kind of stick it in where there are no other berries. I don't need the string to be, I mean the wire is very long. We don't need it to be quite that long. Turn this around so I can see it. We're just sticking these in so it has some berries sticking out, but not in the same place that, I think we need more berries. Where did all my berries go? Yes, more. They're floating around. They're getting all, let's see. No, didn't cut that one yet. Yeah, so I'm gonna miss my friend Kathy. It's been just trying to get on here some days and not be sad has been quite the challenge, I must say. There's certain things that I do and certain things that I say that make me think of my best friend, and I just miss her awful. But anyway, life goes on, and her son and my son were best friends. Her son Billy has Down syndrome, and my son Nathan has autism. And they've just been best buds, and so I'm really sad about Billy. Don't know what's going to happen to Billy. Let's do a little berry at the very top up here. So I'm just kind of sticking these wherever I see is a good little spot for a berry. So we have a few. Sticking out here or there. Let's do another couple. This is coming out so pretty. We're just going to stick on a couple more of these, and then I'm going to start putting on some leaves. So anyway, talking about comfort in a loss, right? I can't get these undone. I'll have to just cut those wires off another day. So this will be my last one. I'll glue a couple of the balls on by themselves because that one just came off too. So I'm just going to stick a little glue, put one there, and stick these balls on without their wire. How's that? I'll show them. We don't need them wires. All right, now I want to put a few leaves on, and these are all, again, Dollar Tree. So we're just going to attach one here, there. I'm going to put a lot of them down the bottom, almost like making a little base. Not really a base, but just kind of, I don't know, a bottom. Let's just make a bottom. And so I'm going to stick a few on top of each other. Another one down here. Another one. These do tend to stick together, so make sure you are, I don't know, taking your fingers and just making sure that you only have the one. Green. The other day the green ones were sticking to me, and I had several on my project. I thought it was a single layer, but it wasn't so. I think we need a little orange one here. See, that one had a couple. And I have an itch on my nose. I'm sorry. I should probably use a Kleenex to itch my nose. Excuse me. It's right in the right in the I don't know, what's this piece in your nose, the middle piece? I will probably be giving this away, so I don't want germs on my transferring onto my project here. Alright, so we are almost done with some leaves here at the bottom. And I'm going to put one here or there. And I think we will stick another one over here. And we need one more. I don't know, we're just gonna add, let's put a green one here. All right, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And I am going to take this last little bit of my pip berry from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to wrap that right around. A couple of times here at the bottom. I'm just going to do it like this. Around and around and around. So we get to the end, and we will just wrap it around one of our down spindles here. All right, and this, oh, we just lost a leaf. Let me fix my leaf. It's because I'm not getting much glue out of my glue gun. Let's do another. Shall we? Let's do another. And I think this is adorable. Adorable. I am not done though. I am going to take a couple of pine cones. Little pine cones. The little teeny pine cones. And I'm going to just stick a couple on here. And I'm hoping that these will anchor the berries down here. So it looks like it's growing off the berries. And another one. So we got one. Let's do one here. So come on, I mean, look what we have done for a few dollars. And no offense, Hobby Lobby, but, and I know you can get that half off, but I'm still not paying $40 for this. Thank you, Dollar Tree, for coming out with all of your wonderful Hobby Lobby dupe stuff, because you definitely are understanding that we are flocking to the Dollar Tree for craft products. So thank you, and thank you. Where am I putting this? Let's put it right there. All right, this will do it. I think this is beautiful. It doesn't need a bow. It doesn't need anything at the top. Let me look at the inspiration piece and see if they have anything on the top. No, they have nothing on the top of theirs as well. In fact, they have a lot of empty space at the top of theirs. I just think this came out adorable, you guys. Let me stand up so I can show it to you little better. Let's see. This is the back. I have the back towards me, and this is the front. So we have all our pumpkins and berries. It is so cute. It is all lit up. It's going to look really cute at nighttime. Let's see if we can shut these lights off. Really, it's daytime in here, so you're not going to see. But look at how pretty that is. I just love this. I knew that we could recreate this with all Dollar Tree products for a fraction of the price. A fraction. So, okay, everybody, I hope that you love this. I'm going to get this to stop rocking whether it kills me. I don't want to say that. I just, but I am going to maybe shave off a little of that styrofoam pumpkin at the bottom so it won't rock. But this is a great time for you to give me a thumbs up. And sharing is caring. So go ahead and share this video with your friends, family, and social media. And, yeah, maybe we should put one of these little tags on it. No, I'm not gonna take away from it. It's adorable just as it is. So, all right, everybody, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. You know that it helps my channel grow, and I really appreciate it. So, thanks for doing all those things. And until I see you next time, be good and do good. Bye now.